Hey guys, Matty here. I'm afraid I haven't got much footage of us playing as a guild since launch, but I have got this video, which is me playing with some friends of mine against a Team Synergy team. It's on Legacy of the VotF, and I'm running a Ranger build, which is generally a point holder defensive 1v1 build. The start of this game we send 2 players to Waterfall and 3 of us go towards Graveyard, and we engage in a 4v3 at the moment. One of our players from Waterfall is on our way. At the start of this game I actually have one of the wrong skills equipped. My number 8 skill is a speed buff rather than meant to be a regen skill. I noticed halfway through the game, but I actually lose quite a lot of defensive ability because of that. So at the start of the game I'm a lot more squishy than I'm meant to be. So now I'm getting focused at the moment. We're focusing this warrior down. I go down first, but my players around me are trying to res me, and I do manage to get up. Our focus at the start is really quite poor. We've got no player targeted. In fact, one of our players is currently the target. We eventually target this necromancer and just hit him down. I'm just using my number 1 skill on my short bow, trying to hit from behind or from the side to get the poison, the bleed on. It's actually quite a good skill because it's such a quick firing skill. You can get a lot of stacks of bleed. It does quite a lot of damage. I've got my elite spirit up, which is giving the entire team AoE regen, which is very strong. The Guardian ends up going low. I switch onto my axe, use my number 5 skill to shoot the fire thing. We down the Guardian, and they do manage to get him up with his players. And they manage to down our engineer, and I also go down here. And they get the stomp on me, which isn't the best start, but because the point is so big, we do actually manage to stop them capping it, and we manage to get back. So when I res, I run back towards the middle with the engineer, and we're just trying to keep that point. We've currently got the 2-hour point, so even though we lost the fight in mid, we're still winning. We're about 10 points up at the moment. So we're continuing this middle fight. Our Guardians managed to stay up a lot. It's such a big point, you can kite around it. It's quite easy to stay up for a while. Here we try and sort out our focus and focus the necromancer at this point. We res up the Guardian quite easily and get back to focusing the necromancer. As soon as we get our focus sorted, they go down quite quickly. We get him down. I try to get the stomp, but he gets up with that war banner res instead. We continue focusing the necromancer when he gets back up. I tend to stay on my bow set most of the time just to get that the bleed on from the short bow. Switching to the torch and axe set is quite good for using the fire combo, using the 5 skill on the torch and then using the 2 and the 1 skills on the axe to get a lot of burning off. It does a lot of damage, quite a lot of condition damage, so it's quite strong. We get the necromancer down and manage to get the stomp, and now we're changing our focus to the Guardian because he's quite low. Usually you probably want to go for the warrior first, but the Guardian is lower at this point, so we switch to him. Trying to get my burning on with my torch, using my number 1 skill on the axe, just trying to get him down. Managed to focus him down. The pets I'm using are wolf and hyena. The rails here have knockdowns. You can't control the knockdowns, but they do use them quite often. You can get quite a lot of damage in there. So we get that down. And we switch our focus to this warrior here. I'm just trying to get him down. It's a 3v1 in mid, 3v2 now. So that warrior runs away, leaving just the necromancer in the mid. He comes back in on low health. We switch our focus back to him again. Just trying to get the damage on him. We eventually get him down. And at this point we control neither of the out points, both currently contested. So now that it's a 3v2 in mid, we manage to get that necromancer down quickly because it's quite a squishy target. And we get the stomp on him just in time. Switch our focus to the thief. We're just trying to fight for this mid point. As you see, they keep on getting up and rising and coming back and contesting it, so we get to be able to control the point. We get both of those players down and get the stomps. At this point I decided to go over to Quarry, where our thief has just died, but currently it's left undefended, so I run over to Quarry and try to cap that. I notice that my pet's low, so I switch it to the other pet, which just gets up on full health again. Nobody comes at this point, just watching the side gate and from middle to see if anyone's on their way. I see that a engineer is on his way, so I tell my pet to go attack him, try and fire my arrows at him. This build's very good at 1v1s. I lay down my spike trap to get a cripple and a bleed off. switch over to my torch and axe to get the fire field down. He ends up standing out, which is a mistake from me, taking a lot of burning damage. My pet finishes him off, and then I get the stomp and manage to cap the point. It's quite a simple 1v1. Usually a 1v1 would be very difficult without the regen signet, which I meant to have equipped instead of the movement speed one. But that turned out to be quite good. He was low health when he came in, and he made the mistake of standing in the fire field, so it worked out okay. So we capped that. We've managed to get middle as well, currently contesting waterfall. So this is really where we start pulling ahead in this game. Now that we've got control over the middle, it really makes a big difference. I return to mid, where there's a 2v1 going on with one of our players downed. We managed to finish off that Guardian, and I get the stomp before the Necromancer can res him. Switch to my axe torch to get the fire field down, start throwing axes through that, but then I notice quarry's being contested, so I run off towards that. It's the engineer that I've just fought and beaten, but he's full health this time, so it's going to be a bit of a more difficult fight. Run over to him, shooting my arrows. It's knocking me back, get knocked off the point, and he contests it. I put up my elite spirit, which is a very good 1v1. You can self-res yourself with it. Switch to my my torch and axe, put down the fire field and start throwing axes through it. Use my my spike trap as much as I can to get him low. It's quite an equal 1v1 at this point, but I managed to pull ahead now because I've got the regen from my spirit and from my healing skill. He gets very low at this point. I'm on 5,000 health, but I do manage to get the final hit because I get my heal off first. So I get the engineer down off point, which is fine. I want to cap the point rather than stomp him, so I go down and try and get the stomp. I get knocked down, and the rock dog ends up hitting me for quite a lot of damage. I get knocked back on about 500 health. I try to self-res myself, but I don't go down in time. You have about a 3-second window from clicking the skill in which you can die and then you'll self-res. So I end up going down by the engineer's low and I die on point, so that's fine. My pet finishes the engineer off and I get back up. That 1v1 would have been a lot easier if I'd had my regen signet attached. But you can see the 1v1 potential of this build, it's very strong. So I cap quarry and then going back towards mid because that's being contested. At this point, during that fight, as soon as it started really, I noticed I was losing a lot of health and not regenning it. But I couldn't swap it in the middle of the fight, so as soon as that fight was over, I switched back to the correct signet that I meant to have, and then sit around quarry. We're controlling all the 3 points, so I'm just keeping an eye on quarry, making sure no one comes. Middle's fine, they don't need help. And this thief is incoming now. This could be a difficult 1v1 if he clicks his thief's guild, because I don't have my ultimate recharged. This could be a difficult 1v1 for me, so I put down my fire field, shooting axes through it. Clicking your number 2 axe skill through the fire field is very good. He does click his thief skill here, so I end up getting quite low. He's lower than me at this point, but I've just used my heal skill and to run out of the regen. I call Nikara over to come and help me, and he helps me finish off the thief quite easily. I end up dropping quite low at this point, but my heal skill recharges and I manage to get back up, and the thief runs away as well. So I just run back onto the point to cap it. We've still got the other 2 points, got quite a lot of control over the game at this point. As soon as we cap mid, it gave us a massive advantage. Side points, they've not really been able to cap one since then. They've neutralised them a few times, but in terms of capping them, it's just not happened for them. So I get that point, and middle's fine at this stage, so I go down to the side gate, just get a few hits on that, just so it will come up with a warning for them. Hopefully just trying to confuse them, panic them into thinking that the base is under attack. It's quite a good tactic if you just hit quarry or waterfall, just to go and hit the side gate, get a few hits on it, no need to take it down unless that's the tactic that you're going for. Absolute does end up going down in mid. I get there before they manage to take the point. It is contested though. This point I go down very quickly. I don't have my number 9 skill, which stops me taking any damage, so I don't have my panic button skill, so I go down and I end up getting stomped, but I do stop them capping mid, which is good. I go down and they end up being able to cap it anyway, but I delay it for a little bit. At this point in the game, we've actually lost all the points we control, which is not good for us. We're contesting middle at the moment. and we're trying to get waterfall. I end up going towards middle. They've just got a quarry. We've got a player getting waterfall at the moment. We're so many points ahead that we just need to really hold and cap 1 point, which is our waterfall at the moment. So we have that, but we try and get mid down as well. We don't just want to sit on waterfall 5-man. It seems like a bit of a dull tactic, especially in just a casual game like this. So we end up all coming towards mid, leaving one player on waterfall just to keep that going, focus the necromancer and get the stomp. You notice I spend most of my time just switching between the sets. The on-proc switches are quite good, and just getting the cooldowns. The cooldown on the torch fire skill is what I'm really noticing. I tend to wait for that to recharge and switch to my dat set, and then as soon as I can switch back to the short bow. Then once the torch 5 is recharged, switch back to that set, so I can use that on recharge. But in general I think the short bow set has a better auto attack than the axe. So I try to spend most of my time in that if the torch 5 skill isn't recharged. So we managed to get most of the kills in mid. It's important to focus fire, which you can see the difference in time to kill from the start to now is massive. We're killing them now very quickly because we're focusing. At the start we weren't, because we weren't focusing. So well, we managed to cap mid and run over to quarry, but the game's pretty much over at this point. So yeah, that's that game. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching a different build from usual. If you did enjoy it, like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.